It's BZY, Busy Peach in the house. Hey, BzyPeach, yeah, Busy Peach. Hey, what's her name? Busy Peach. Say it again. Busy Peach. You got it. BzyPeach, yeah, Busy Peach. What's her name? Busy Peach. Busy Peach. Busy Peach.
Hey y'all, good morning. It's Saturday in Atlanta. Grab your coffee. Wipe the sleep out your eyes. Let's get it going. Hey. All right, enough of that. Hey. What the what? Hold on. Is that what I think it is? Like all middle fingers? We're not starting off the morning like this. I hope not. Do me a favor if y'all are regular Saturday mornings Shenanigans crew. What is that account? Oh, you gotta go. Hold on. Listen, this is not how we do the shenanigans. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Give me a second. We're going to kick out all the drama. Okay. And remove this person because this is not how we do shenanigans. Okay. Yo. Okay, listen. Listen. I don't even know where that person came from. And I know if you're watching the replay, it's like, what's going on? So somebody came into the live first thing with middle fingers up and evil devil faces. So, you know, I was already feeling a little militant with my red, black, and green, as you can see, and feeling a little stabby. Okay. But, really? Okay. So we'll address that, and then we're going to get into some good stuff. Yeah, apparently somebody's acting up this morning already. Oh, my gosh. Bored kid. Okay, Allison, thank you. Appreciate it. Cool. We're going to reclaim this vibe. Sorry, that was just too much. All right, let me get some coffee in my system. Thank you, Izzy. All right, the Saturday morning shenanigans crew is on it. Thank you. Okay. Hey, y'all. What's going on? It's a Saturday morning in Atlanta. So I'm looking outside and it is bright and sunny. But y'all, there was snow last night. Snow. I couldn't, I was like, really? Really? It's snowing? It snowed. Look at that.
So it actually snowed in Georgia tonight.
And there's still some on the car this morning.
So it actually snowed in Georgia tonight.
Now, listen, y'all know I'm not complaining because that's nothing compared to what other folks are dealing with. So I don't know what's falling in your neck of the woods. Shanti is laughing because she's like, snow? That's not snow. Exactly. That was a dusting. Okay, Jersey. Oh, Mama Fran, good morning. Snowing there, several inches and still gone. Okay. Yes, you do need to come to ATL. Absolutely. Yeah, so it snowed, it dusted, and now it's gone. So yeah, but that's the nice thing about down here. Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna dive into today. Gosh, a couple of things to talk about. Special guest, all good things. It's 3 degrees in Detroit. Oh my word. See, y'all stay warm. Wrap up. Put on all your winter clothes. I would be in my house walking around like Are y'all fans of the show Friends? Remember that episode where Joey put on all of Chandler's clothes? That would be me. Yeah. 5 degrees. I know. Whew. I mean, and in Virginia, we had snow. You know, there might even still be some snow up there today. But, and I'm used to driving it and all that. But down here, even this little dusting, there is no way I would have been out in that because people down here see a little snow, a little ice, and it turns into snowmageddon. So, yeah. But anyway, what are we talking about today? Hopefully everybody had a good week. Working on some wool hats right now. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so, I'm sitting down here in my cotton and my tencel. And I know it's wool season everywhere else, but, keep me in mind for your summer stuff. Don't forget about your girl. Drew says, that's such a good reference for how you're dressed right now. Yeah. Wrap up. Stay warm. All the wool and maybe a trash bag poncho. Wait, what? Okay. Listen, there's been drama again this week. We are not going to dwell on it, but we are going to address it. Listen. Listen. I don't even know where to start. All I can say is that it's important to call out and address drama and problems. It's not good to dwell in them, so not going to. But let's be kind to each other, okay? Because the world out there has a lot going on, and there's a lot of people who are hating on each other because of class, race, whatever categorization, qualification, you can think of. And me being a Black female, I deal with all the intersectionality of it all. Everybody has something that they deal with, but, as a Black woman, you deal with the racism, you deal with the sexism, you deal with all of that, right? And so I hope that everybody is taking care of themselves and, coping through all of what's going on. I know I'm kind of struggling with my words here because I just don't like giving air to negativity, but it does have to be talked about, right? So, I woke up feeling a little stabby today. I've been working on my embroidery. That gives me a good release, and a little needle felting will do that as well when I feel like I want to, but you can't, so our fiber arts can come to the rescue. So if you're trying to understand what I mean by stabby, I've been feeling my embroidery threads lately. And so I really like them. I know I'm biased because I make them, but, yeah, Shanti, just be good human beings, and, just be good human beings. And, I've been a little stabby. So I have on my little shirt, my little stab, pull, repeat shirt, because, that's what I've been doing. Working on hold on, let me stop sharing that. But if you want one for the days that you're feeling a little stabby, and just to clarify, on the shoulder, it does say, hashtag hand stitched. So in case somebody, doesn't quite get it, right? I know that's backwards, but it says hashtag hand stitched. So, so when you're in those modes and you've been looking at all the drama and shenanigans, bad shenanigans and craziness, racism, sexism, homophobia, all of that online, My solution is to get my anger out in a productive and constructive way, and then also work to fix the problem. So, we've got busy showers coming up. We've been hard at work. There are about 6 of us who have been meeting weekly to talk about planning and to move forward with how to help small businesses. So just to reiterate, busy showers, it's like a baby shower. So just like when a mom or a mom to be is pregnant and getting ready to have a baby, right? People who love on her, who care for her and want to gift her with the things that she's going to need to help her baby grow, have a baby shower and gift those things to her. So substitute baby with business. Although for us business owners, our business is our baby a lot of times, right? So we're going to do busy showers, business showers where businesses who are just starting out or who are growing and need some assistance with those things that can be barriers to entry, right? There's a lot that it takes to get a business up and started. Now, we're not giving you everything. You got to put some skin in the game as well. You've got to, have, it's not a, we're going to set up your business for you, but Black-owned businesses, can have challenges and barriers to entry in terms of capital and startup concerns, right? So, yes, birthing last night. That's right. I figured this is a way to kind of serve as a funnel, right? Use the little platform that I have. Although this morning I'm in awe. It's like 46 people here. It's a lot. And thank y'all for coming. But use the little bit of a platform that I have to bring awareness to new and small businesses, set up a registry where they can say, hey, these are the things that I need. It could be office supplies. It could be yarn, and fiber equipment. It could be they need an hour with a accountant to understand what they need to do with their books. It could be they need 1 month of web hosting because, hosting a website is expensive. Or maybe their, Etsy fees paid, something like that. So we're going to set up a way to bring light to those businesses, have a busy shower, a business shower, Zoom event. We get to meet the person and learn about them and what they're doing, what's on their registry, and pour into them as they get started or grow their business. So, a light box. Yes. Yeah, a light box. So listen, when you get a chance, go over to, I don't think I can do this right now, but go over to the Instagram account, Busy Showers, BZY Showers. Okay, so just write it down. Hopefully you've got your Saturday Shenanigans notebook or a notepad beside you, because there are all these little gems that we're going to drop. But write down Busy Showers, no space, no marks, just BZY Showers. And there's a post out there that says, what are some things that you wish you knew when you were starting your business? Give me 1 second and I will give y'all a preview of what that looks like. Oh. I think, hold on. Technical user error. 1 second. Y'all are so patient. Okay, so Busy Showers, it's up. Yolanda, our graphic designer and social media expert, Miss Icestone Flowers, has put up a post, right? When you reflect upon when you first started your business, what is something that you now know that you wish you knew then? So add some comments, please. This will help us kind of build a repository of questions, things to focus on, etc. While we're getting these started. Also, if you're interested in, if you have businesses that you would like to recommend, you can send a DM to that page. And thank you, Shanti. Look, I'm going to pin your comment. Shanti, you are always on it, darling. I appreciate you. Yes, so DM that account, Busy Showers. Don't DM me here at BzyPeach because it'll get lost. But DM Busy Showers with businesses that you think could benefit from having a business shower, right? Okay, cool. Y'all, we have a special guest. We have a special guest. And so I know he is waiting patiently. So do me a favor, special guest, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to pop on here live, and then we're going to chat a little bit about some music, right? So a lot of times we talk about over here how our craft and music go together. A lot of us listen to music in the car, in the house, while we're crafting, etc. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so we're gonna chit chat with our special guy. Okay, cool. He's ready. He's ready. Oops. Wait a minute. No, I know there are no requests to join. I want to invite to join. Listen, apparently I don't have enough coffee in my system yet because my fingers. It's okay. We're gonna make it work. You know how we do on the Shenanigans. We just pivot and keep it moving. So,
how you doing this morning? I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. So I'm excited to officially meet you, right? So often on Saturday mornings, it's the first time that we're laying eyes on each. Oh, look,
exactly
you got coffee? What you got in your cup? Is it early? Is it early on a Saturday for you?
A little bit.
Look, get the sleep out your eyes. We're gonna chat for a little bit. Okay, so so you've heard of me, right? I've heard of you. We have a mutual person in common. My favorite brother, cousin, Fro Organics, Ron Flowers. And but who are you? Like, tell me who you are. Tell the people who you are. Introduce yourself.
I mean, that's a loaded question. Yeah. But my name is LaBrewII. I am a musician coming out of the Richmond area, Richmond, Virginia. Originally from a small country town called Enfield, North Carolina. Yes.
Are you from Enfield?
Yes. Look.
You might be family for real.
If you're saying that, I'm sure we are then. No,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We'll come back to that.
Originally grew up in like the Maryland area, so I just been up and down, sort of like just the East Coast for the most part, and we just had the opportunity to put together a project about, I want to say this is going on, it's a little bit over a year ago now, and we had an opportunity to put something together, and I had the opportunity to have a couple people that deemed to be legends, especially coming from this area, who were willing to get behind me. They got behind me and been pushing me since. And here we are. It's the project.
Yes.
Came out 2 months ago today. It's called NuSense. It's a blend of it's kind of hard to really pin it, but I'll say it's a little different. It's a little bit of a blend of like some electric funk meets a little bit of soul, meets a little bit of rock and roll. You know, it's a little bit of everything. So yeah. Been a good run, and
yeah,
I've been enjoying every moment of it. So
okay. So I'm digging the music. I love the the video for Pulp Fiction, and there was one part where there was some bloopers. Was it at the end of the video where Ron was in the truck? I saw it
Oh,
last
it's
night,
all
and then I
right.
couldn't
No,
find it again.
so we also shot like a ton of we had just a ton of footage from just over the time that we've put everything together, and so we put together like a 10-minute reel of just the entire process,
Yeah.
or parts of it, I would say. And that's what that was from. Yeah, he was definitely in the trunk filming because we shot. we take liberty in trying to kind of have our hands in everything we do, and I enjoy shooting film as well, and we all do. So we ended up. Rob was in a trunk shooting the classic Tarantino scene with the light coming out the trunk. So yeah, he was like, "I'll do it." And I was like, "All right, well."
Yeah, that sounds like him. Yeah, I'll be in the truck. Okay, of course. That listen, y'all's creativity is amazing to me. I love it. So I'm gonna play just a little bit of the video real quick. But you guys will have to go out and check it out. I'm gonna put it on our Saturday morning shenanigans playlist right on YouTube. So make sure after this, when you go to the link in my bio, you can click on Saturday morning shenanigans playlist on YouTube, and this will be there. And you guys can add your own music too. So LaBrew, if you've got another, well, I know you've got a favorite out of yours, but I'll ask you that in a minute. But if you've got another favorite, you can put it out there. So hold on, y'all even hold on. Wait. Let me go back, because you guys even hooked it up like it's a video, like for real, like a movie. Y'all look at this. Look at that little young man. Yes. Oh, sorry. If there are kids in the room, close your ears. Okay. Listen, y'all have to go watch the whole video. I love the vibe.
I do appreciate it.
I love the song. I was, just sitting here, just chilling with it last night, and it's funky. I love the footage, like the the cars, like you just all out, like I'm just wild. You were just wilding out, like listen. I recognize the background, so I know, them people out there in the country probably, what the hell are these people doing?
Oh, you should have saw us trying to regulate the street. We were trying to get some shots. I was like, man, we were walkie-talkie car. we had to put. Oh, it was an experience.
Oh,
hey,
for
listen,
real?
when I tell you, I'm like, hey, I have a saying. I'm like, sometimes you just gotta hang out the window, and that's what we was doing. So I mean, hey, sometimes you go there,
Wait, so y'all had one dude posted at one end of the street and one at the other.
We
like,
were essentially driving.
Right.
So the way we shot it was with an actual crane. So as we're driving, you're catching it's like a cattle corner angle as we're driving. If as the vehicle's coming up, we'll hit the you'll get the call on walkie-talkie, and all you heard was car, and we had to pull over real quick. And I think it took us, dare I say, like an hour. I want to say an hour and a half for, what was it, 2 minutes? Then maybe not even 25 seconds, maybe. Like
That's not bad at all, because stuff like that can take all day sometimes.
I was glad that we was able to actually, when you and anytime you're creating something, like you have a vision of something, if you can make it come to life, it's always a beautiful thing. And with film, it's not. Sometimes, it doesn't come out the way that you would hope, but we had an opportunity to get the one thing that I was like really trying to, you know what I mean, trying to get off, which is that was, I guess the most hazardous in a sense. So, like I said, hey, sometimes you gotta hang out the window,
Listen, where they got, like, there's no like there's no side, side of the road. It's 2 lanes and some country and some fields, probably some cows over off on the side. So they had to move quick. Okay, so but talk about the creativity. Like, talk about, like, how did you come up with the idea? How did you come up with the theme? Because, right, a lot of people that are watching you are yarn kids, right? Like, we are knitters and crocheters and all of that, but we love good music. We love all aspects of creativity. Well, at least I do. I can speak for myself, but and a couple of the folks are love just being creative and expressing our creativity. So how'd you come up with the idea and the music and
So
then
I guess the way that I sort of like I start from, I guess, like my principles in a sense, and that comes down to it just being authentic, and then having what I call like texture in a sense. But not like I'm a man of sayings in a way. I always say like I'm a man of fabric in a sense. Like I need something that has texture. You know what I mean? Like I need something that feels. So that was the intent. So I won't say that like I'll let some of these the way that we end up crafting records is so much. It's not. I won't say so much of a contrived thought at times. Sometimes it's just allowing, like you said, sort of like the precedent, and then just kind of see where it goes sometimes. Now, unless you're trying to tell a specific story. Now, if you have a certain idea in mind, that's a different story. So I attack things a little different, but at the end of it, like my baseline is always like my intention that I set on whatever it is I'm doing, whether it's a record, whether it's some form of design outside of that, whether it's graphic, film, anything that we are doing. You know what I mean? It's just mainly my intention that I initially set, nonetheless.
Yeah. Okay, Shanti's saying I love music with a story. Yeah, and I'm the same way. I love I've said it here before. I'm kind of the girl that loves the behind the scenes stuff. So I love the little clips that you've got, across your Instagram page. So y'all go check it out. We're gonna take a quick second and do what we always do. So while you're here at the top, you guys click at the top. And when you click at the top where you see our names and it shows up at the bottom, make sure you go and follow LaBrewII, okay? If you're new to me, follow me. If you're interested in what you see. If you're new to LaBrew, follow him too. Oh, that rhymed. Okay. Wow. I'm a little corny, a little cheesy.
I need to give you the
just hang
paper
on for the ride. But make sure you follow, right? So again, click up here at the top, y'all. When it shows up down at the bottom, follow. Make sure you follow. Okay. All right. Good. Hazel says done. Tagmeyer done. Shanti, check. Okay. Ashley already followed. Okay. Cool. All right. So you have some new followers popping up.
Please
checking
do.
out the music. Now this is not okay. So this is the main video that you've got out here, but the album is called NuSense.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So,
like, what, NuSense?
So it's the way I look at it is that so NuSense is a take on, of course, the word in itself, but it's finding a new sense while feeling like a nuisance. So it's like in the process of searching like for like something different within yourself. Anytime you're working on yourself or trying to find something different with yourself, those sorts of things, sometimes it can feel like a nuisance sometimes because it can be difficult. It has its challenges at times because you're challenging yourself. And that's what my whole journey has been to a certain extent. I've been in the creative realm my entire life, growing up in creative art school. I've been doing this professionally for a few years, you know what I mean? And you get to a point sometimes where in the creative field, you know, you get frustrated, but you got to keep pushing yourself. So sometimes that can feel, you know, you can kind of hit these peaks and valleys sometimes, and I mean, it can feel like a nuisance at times. But for me, the ultimate goal is to continue to
Yeah.
push yourself to find these new senses, like trying to push yourself to, you know, find what's next and that sort of thing. So that the
Yeah, right. New. Okay, I see what you did, and I like that. I like the dare I say dichotomy of the use of the word.
yeah, it's like it was literally it was pushing, you know, pushing, just trying to push you know, your own bounds, you know, see where you can go, see what you can do, you know, why not? Um, See where you end up at. So
Right. Yeah. Okay. I love it. So, excuse me. Oh my goodness. So when you guys, you guys have started to follow him, which is dope. Make sure that you go out to his website, right? So let me show you really quick. I know, sorry for the close up, right? But go check out the website. Okay. I love y'all are doing it with the camera maze. I really am. And so, but check it out, right? Because he's got some good information out there, talking about the album itself, and more details. So go take a look if you would. Ill Water, right? That's another one that I think kind of caught my attention. Let me see if I can
yeah, it should
it's
be
over here,
published
right?
everywhere. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's a different vibe.
I see the waves in your eyes, the differences of the whisper on the air.
Okay, that one is giving me very much a prince-ish kind of vibe. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. So different vibe, Pulp Fiction. So talk about it, and
That's
it
right.
is.
Yeah, that's
Am I
it.
saying it right? Ill Water.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My Richmond accent had to be reapplied. Talk
Ill
about
Water.
that one a little bit.
Ironically, this is a record that a writing partner of mine we wrote actually back in 2016. And it was sort of
Okay.
repurposed because it was never used. It was a story that I wanted to tell where it was like you basically meeting this, dare I say, character that kind of is mythical to you in nature, in a sense where sometimes, you know, it's like imagine meeting like somebody that sort of has a control and hold on you in a way that you didn't even realize. But ultimately, like you being drawn in
Hmm.
for various reasons, and so we sort of created this idea of like
Okay.
this, like I said, this mythical woman in a sense, and but it was like you also saw the things in her that other people didn't see, which was they see this, you know, what they see this beautiful woman in a sense, but they don't see what's beyond that and what's also happening between the two of you. Um, and ultimately, it ends up
Hmm.
being where it's like you see the blues in her eyes. It's the last line where it's like, I see the blues in your eyes, and then
Hmm.
it takes back off to ill water because it's like you're dare I say drunk on what this person is essentially feeding. You know what I mean? Yeah, so
Okay.
that one is that's a favorite of mine nonetheless. That would probably be the one that I'd say is that one has a different hold on. Yeah, has a different. Yeah, that one does.
Different hold on you. Okay.
Yeah, like
Got you
yeah,
around the throat a little bit.
that's one that I definitely like. I mean, I love all of them, but that's probably
Right. I'm good, right? They're your babies that you're putting out into the world to share pieces of you, your thoughts, your desires, or like you said, your um you know, what parts of what make you
Right.
with the rest of us, with the world. So just like with knitting and crocheting and crafting, there's a little bit of for us physically DNA on everything we
Very
touch, right? Because we touch it, gift it, and pass it on. But I imagine, and I can hear and see with your music, right? There's a little bit of your DNA in everything that you put out there, because not only it comes from your mind and your experiences and the things that you want to convey to us. You know, so
I
it's got your
never
DNA
even
in it.
thought of
So
that, especially when it comes to like what you all do, because you all are you physically are touching it. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, but definitely, nonetheless, you know what I mean. Kind of
yeah, I I think as creatives, right? You know, what does Erica Badu say? You know, I'm an artist, so I'm a little
exactly.
sensitive about my ish, right? Because we pour so much of ourselves into what we do. Um, and, you know, whether it be the creative process of designing something, right? If you're designing a garment or you're designing your album cover, right? Whether it be the time that's put into knit or crochet that sweater, or record and re-record those vocals, right? There's so much of ourselves that we put into what, you know, someone might just get as a quick glance as
Yeah,
a Instagram post, or, you know, 2 minutes of a video that took, you know,
exactly.
however many days to shoot, reshoot, edit, re-edit,
The amount of time
review,
that
right?
it's like you go from having to come up with the idea first, and then you have to see it all the way through, and then you don't need, and then you have no idea about how it'll be received. But you know, but you'll never know unless you do it. Yeah,
That's right. That's right. And so, you know, I mean, talk a little bit about, like, you know, so taking that chance and putting stuff out there, right? Whether it be music or you know, some other aspect of your craft or creativity, right? That can be kind of nerve wracking, like, right? Like, are people going to like it? Are people going to enjoy it? What is it that pushed you to just do it anyway? Not that you had those reservations, but, you know, at some point there's a push to just say, okay, here it is, it's
that's a
out
great
there.
question. I think sometimes you just have to, you got to put your foot on the gas and do not stop, because it's easy to get in your head a little bit and question it. But
Okay.
um, I guess what really would really put me in the state to really, I guess you can say, sort of put myself out there creatively, especially with this, because this is my first project where I'm actually lead on. Um, I've been behind the scenes for a majority of the time, where whether it's writing and producing, that's just what, you know, at least that's initially what I wanted to do, um, until I guess you can say I was ready. Um, and that's where I'm at today. But
Okay.
it was, I had to get to this space of being like, you know, um, dare I just say screw it, and you got to kind of throw yourself in it, because it's like if you, I like, once again, I'm a man of sayings and mantras in a sense. It's like just sometimes you got to be pushed in the deep end, because I was like, honestly, um, if I wasn't, we might not be sitting here right now, because I might have been so caught up in the idea versus actually pushing it. And but I got pushed in the deep end, and I'm swimming, and I'm gonna keep swimming. So I think
Right.
sometimes it does. Sometimes it does take something you got to kind of get pushed off the porch in a sense. Sometimes, you know what I mean. It's like you have to just hit the ground running, and
Yeah.
literally just,
Okay.
yeah. That's
All
why
the
I said, I'm
metaphors.
like,
Listen.
I live by him. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, I mean,
Look, your next album should be Brewisms, right? All of the sayings. Right? No, but I love it, right? Because like you said, like sometimes, right, we're gonna pick one. You're at the edge of that pool. Either you're gonna jump into it You either gonna walk around and walk down the steps
Yep.
in the shallow end. You know, some people just sit on the edge and just dip their feet in, and they never really get the full
Definitely.
experience of the pool, right? Or like you said, sometimes you're sitting there thinking about it, and that crazy ass cousin, like my cousin Ron, will run up behind you and push your ass in, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Boom, there you go. Get in there.
And
Feel
that's
good,
it. And I
right?
mean, I would say, well, that's just, I think that's what works best for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I just gotta go. I just like
Okay.
especially because when you have an idea, you can kind of tinker away at it for too long. And sometimes you gotta and that's just the way it works for me. You know what I mean? Everybody interprets things a little
A little
different,
different.
but do what works for you. For me, it's like I just gotta hit the ground running because once I get a hit the
But you've got folks around you that are pushing you in, right? So did I hear somebody off screen over there hanging out with you too?
yeah.
As one of the cousins over there?
Uh,
Whose laugh is that? I feel like I recognize the laugh. Who is that?
What's up?
What are you doing?
Sitting there trying to fall asleep. Sitting there trying not to fall asleep because we
You
both
what?
sleepy.
late night.
Dang, we that boring?
Not
You
at all. I'm
just
smiling
you
the whole
dozing off
time,
on
though.
us?
Look, we had a long night.
Late nights.
Brew, hold on, brew. He trying to say we boring. He over there falling asleep, but I don't think so. I think
would
we're
agree.
giving good energy. What you think?
It's beautiful energy. Yeah.
I would agree, but I was like, I'm feeling them right now because it was late night. But guess what? We up early in the morning. You hear me?
That's right.
That's the life of an artist. Y'all vampires over there hanging out like, oh, it's 6 a.m. Cool, let's go lay down.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know why is that? Is it are you just more creative at night, or it's just
I've
what
been
is
trying
it?
to find the answer to that for a very long time, and I have no clue to this day. But I have been like one thing I will say is that I enjoy doing the same thing that I do in the like at night and that sort of thing. But I like doing that also like early in the morning. I like doing
Okay.
like, and even if it carries over, it's just something about I guess that time. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with that window. Um, But it's something about like I guess when the sun goes down and then when it starts to come back up. I don't know what it is. It's something about that time period for me that maybe it's because it's when like I guess conventionally like the world is asleep in a sense. So maybe it allows you a little bit more time to focus in a sense. Maybe with less distraction. Maybe that's what it is. I've been trying to find that answer forever. I
It's
mean, it was
good,
like,
right? I mean,
but I
that
was
does
like that
sound good.
even, in school and that sort of thing. It was like, for whatever reason, between the time periods is when everything is just firing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so
That's right there. The
now, okay, so
comment
that
says
obviously,
quiet. That's in one of the comments that says quiet. And I'm like, yeah, that's
yeah. All right, so Slicka New, who is that? Who is that? Who
that
is
is
Slicka New? Who is he to you?
my uncle. And, but nonetheless, more than that, he is, wow, that's another one of them loaded questions. Slicka is yeah,
The PG version, look, the
yeah. I
safe
mean,
content
he is
version.
an amazing artist out from the Richmond area as well, and I would say he is the major. I'll say like the builder, the architect of the bridge that has created all of what we are in at the moment. And yeah, he's an amazing artist, MC, producer, writer. Uh, yeah, like I said, I would say he's the original architect of establishing, what we're doing today.
Yes. All right. Who else is around you that pushes
So
you
I mean,
and keeps you going?
those are two there. So you have Slicker, you got Ron, Mr. Fro Organics. Also, it's like I keep a tight knit of folks that that I hold, that I
Yeah.
try to make sure that they hold me accountable to a sense. And so what
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Well, I got a video meeting, not a request to join from Sean
Uh-oh.
Butters Nicole. I, you hang out with her a little bit. I know she did a little
Yeah,
interview
she
with you
did.
as
And
well, right?
that is, I know, that is what how I don't even know how should I phrase that. She is an artist in her own right as well, and that was an artist that initially worked with Ron some years ago. So that's interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, man. I always say, like, I always felt like Richmond has some of, the dare I say, most creative, or let me not say that because I don't want to put the comparison thing out there, but there's a ton of, it's enriched with talent nonetheless in all mediums of art in itself, and it's just there's a lot of amazing folks that have created a lot of amazing things coming from this area. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, but as I see that you did the request to join, but she's also having issues
Okay.
not being able to type comments. So, do me a favor, if you want to pop on live with us, remove your request and then put it back up again. That way I know it'll go away and it'll come back, and I know that's what you meant to do, as opposed to you were just hitting buttons like some of us do. And then we'll bring some other folks on if they want to ask questions or what have you. But you know, the part that you were just mentioning about having good people around you, right? Because I see y'all's pictures and I'm like, you got that new face in there with all them old faces I'm used to seeing, right? So all of Ron's crew that have been around for a minute, and I love the fact that y'all have that brotherhood where y'all work together, you hang out and play together, you encourage each other, and I think that's important, to make sure that you have folks that are around you that, like you said, will hold you accountable, but will also keep you creative and keep yeah, I see you. Yeah, that will hold you. That's why I just kept talking, because I saw the little spinning circle. And listen, Saturday morning shenanigans, we know that ish happens all the time. So we just keep talking through it and we keep moving. Look, it's like, like when you fall on stage, you just, lay down and keep singing, and then you pop back. It's like that. You just keep
That's
going.
it.
You just keep going. Okay, Butters is over here. She said, it's okay. I'm here. I'm lost. Lord, listen, look, girl, we gotta get you up with all the buttons on or Instagram. She's like my
Oh
friend Tanita over there pushing buttons, looking around and stuff,
man,
right? But yeah, but folks, good people
most
around
definitely.
you are important. The music industry, I know, has all kinds of drama and craziness. And you wouldn't think that happens over here
Oh,
in the
I've heard.
yarn world, but it does. And
I've
you
heard.
know, in the
It's very interesting.
yeah,
It's very interesting.
right, right. It's real
I
interesting,
just
right? It's a microcosm of what's going on in the world. You got crazy people out in athletics talking about just shut up and dribble, and we got people over here talking about just shut up and mid, and just like, really. It's right. So we focus on the positive, right? This little corner of the fiber art, my little corner of the fiber arts world, we like to focus on the positive. We address the drama, but we focus on the positive. And I love the fact that you've got people around you who will push you. I've known a couple of them, and so I know that they have the drive, right? They have the passion, and they are going to stick to it. Like, they've been doing music and producing and writing and talking and being immersed in that world for years. And so it's great that you've got folks around you to lift you up, support you, and have you back. That's
I
important.
was
It's
gonna say, yeah. I
important.
mean, like once again, another saying. I was like, in a multitude of counselors, there's safety, and I just feel like, especially coming up in the industry in itself today, it's like if you don't have a lead, like you have to have some form of a backing, because if not there, you can get lost in a lot of ways. And I think that, but I feel if that's in all realms of life, to be honest with you, like if you can
Yeah.
find, a certain group of people that you can trust, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm like, you can try to do everything yourself, but it's gonna be a long time to get certain things done, and it can be a long space nonetheless. So if you can, by all means, please do. That's why I think what you're doing here is amazing. You know what I mean? Opening up a space like
Oh,
that for
thank
everybody to
you.
kind of
Thank you.
come
Thank
together and that sort of thing. It's an amazing thing.
you. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure people like read the little promo this morning and were like, music? I thought she did yarn. Yeah, but everything in life is kind of intertwined, right? And we talk about that over here because, music has been a big part of my life because of, just, your parents and Saturday morning cleaning up and playing all the music. And then, of course, Ron and Uncle Ron and just, their whole immersion, has seeped into,
Yeah.
my being as well, right? But there are a lot of things that we're talking about, and that's why I try to kind of parallel what you're saying with the yarn world as well, because there are lessons that you've learned that we can apply. There are things that we experience that you can apply, and so those commonalities as creative people are important to share and to talk about, because I can't always just look at
Right.
yarn only, right? Because then I don't expand my
Exactly.
thought process. I don't, I never know what I might come across. And I'll give you an example in my little world, which is doing cotton yarn and tinsel yarn, which most people don't do. And a lot of the wool dyers will be like, "Oh, that's too difficult." I think dyeing wool is difficult. It's hard for me. And you know, my supplier came out with embroidery threads, and I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, let's try
Yeah.
it. So I just try something new, do something new, and expand, my field to learn, things that I could do. Like, so I look at what you've got going on, and I think that you said music and making go together well. Yeah, absolutely. I look at what you're doing and what you have going on, and I'm like, man, I love that. Like, how dope would it be to have like I'm sitting out in at the mountain knitting and crocheting, because I don't knit, crocheting, and the drone flies over and zooms it.
Hey,
Like, that would be so
that's it.
fly, right? Like, that
We can do it. We can do it.
would,
You know,
right?
yeah.
I mean, looking at like I think that life influences art influences life. I look at the scenes that you have from the Pulp Fiction video, and it can inform things
Yeah.
that I do in the yarn world, right? Like the color selections. Like you got a gray car, yeah, a silver car. You had on gray suits. Hold up, was that your son
Actually,
that was
no, that was
beside
my
you?
my little cousin actually, who became who became a completely different person. He was supposed he be when once the
Oh,
mustache went on, it was different.
I could tell. Listen, because on your page, I think one of the videos you have him like sitting in the car being like a little kid,
Yeah.
like okay, I'm, hanging out with the big kids. And then he got on some shades and a mustache. What happened?
So
He had a
you see,
transformation.
I want to say, I'm trying to remember if it is in the 10-minute clip. If you see if you see him without it, but he would like it was so essentially the whole thing was a play on, of course, like the film, and it, in the sense of when Samuel L. Jackson's character and John Travolta's character are riding in the car, and they're in the suits. It's a black car, black suits. You're in a gray car, gray suits.
Right.
And
Okay.
essentially it's me cleaning up his mess in a sense. It's like it's the thing. It's and so that's our whole dynamic there.
Oh,
He's the
so
one.
the
Yeah,
little one was causing all
he
the
was the
drama.
menace. He was the menace to the mayhem. That was him.
But his demeanor
All
changed
right,
when y'all got
when
him
the
all
mustache
outfitted,
went
huh?
on, when the shades went on, he became that. I have never seen um someone like I. So I've studied at I've studied acting as well at the studio conservatory in DC, and I've been around some, dare I say, like I would say, some talented individuals. That was a different experience. I was like, when it went on, it clicked, and he was live the entire time. Oh man,
He was
oh he
in
was
it.
all the way there, and it was
A, a, bu- a budding method
yes,
actor.
yes. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally just kind of looked at him. He didn't crack a smile. He was like, when I tell you, he was serious from start to finish, and I was like, I was taken aback. He, he just,
Like, are you
man,
okay? You all
he's a
right
great
over there?
kid, man. He's a kid, I swear.
But but listen, there's something really dope about that, because what you put on yourself, around yourself, can change the way you feel, right? So sometimes it could be, listen, I'm gonna put on that little black dress that I know
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
cute, right? And so it changes, and you'll be like, okay, yes, let's go out. I'm hey, he put on that mustache and the
locked in.
shades and was like,
He was locked. He was locked in.
right? You know, so think about that on a broader sense, like not just, the clothes that we put on our body, but the
Mm.
people we surround ourselves with, right? If you're in a room and the energy that's in that room is serious and dramatic and,
You feel it.
tight,
You feel it.
that you feel it. If you pop into a live on a Saturday morning, that's like, hey,
You feel it. Exactly.
you feel it.
Exactly.
Right. So keep those things in mind, right? I mean, so there's so much that as people in our experiences we can share that help inform and help us grow. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing all of that with us. Okay, so hold on. Butters is all in my little question bubble box. I'm gonna get her to pop on real quick. She said, and hey, good to see you. Love you. Great things you're doing. Love it. Okay. Sean, Butters, Nicole, Child, whatever your name is today. I'm gonna accept your request to join. Look, get the sleep out your eyes and pop on with us real quick. So if you guys have questions, put them down in the little question bubble, because I've been, we've been chatting and I have missed 90% of the comments that have been going back. That happens.
No,
Because it gets so
no,
good.
I did not want to be
Hey,
on live. I thought I was gonna
girl, listen, show your,
I
you
can't.
better show your face. Yes, you
Really?
can. Hold on. I'm gonna take you way back. When you walked up in our apartment 1,000 years ago, it was like, hold up, quiet and shy. Didn't even say hello. It's just like, I'm here. Look, to now having your own show, you interviewing people, you on camera. Girl, what are you
Sitting
doing?
in the car, looking at LaBrew. LaBrew is like, oh my goodness, he's so talented. I love him. I really, really love him. I love him. He's gonna do great things.
Yeah. Look, what you got Oreos in
George,
your teeth? What you
I
doing?
can't. Y'all
Listen.
caught me in the morning like this is not good, LaBrew.
This is what we do over here on my show. It is not planned. We don't have scripts. We just come on a Saturday morning and hang out and just talk and do our thing. I'm glad to see you. You got a question for LaBrew or a
Okay,
comment for
yes,
him, and then we'll let
LaBrew.
you go.
Where do you see yourself going at this point? Because I know the new album is coming and I love the last album. I listened to it. It's definitely in my playlist. So what can we expect from this album, this new album?
So moving forward, the plan at the moment is to actually release. We'll see how many it'll end up being, but it'll be 4 EPs, right? We're gonna break
Okay.
to being like 3, like these sort of subsections to a full project. Hey.
Hey!
We're gonna break things down to these subsections, and ultimately, you know, we're trying to hit stages. So right now we're out at the moment, working on the material from NuSense, getting out here, getting a band together so that we can start to put together a live set that we can also, you know, work as well. And that's where it comes to life. That's the one thing I can say. I've had the opportunity to work the material out over the last month, and being underneath them lights is where, you know, we want to ultimately take this. So mainly on festival stages if possible. So
Yes.
at the moment it's just putting everything together, you know what I mean? And just continue to just literally now expanding it. You know, NuSense was, dare I say, the precipice, and now it's just having everything just watching everything unfold from there. And just continue
Oh,
to pieces and plug and play more videos coming out, doing photo shoots,
Okay.
while working on this new material, which I'm very
oh,
excited for. And nonetheless, you will see the growth continue to happen. So that's the biggest thing for me as well. So it's definitely it's growth, shows, and new material.
can't wait.
Okay, Butters,
Yo,
look, hold on. Picture this. I'll do a little quick Golden Girls reference. Picture this. Atlanta. Hold on. Picture this. Instagram, 2022. Sean Nicole and Laverne Benton were interviewing and chatting with the
Yes.
now famous, worldwide, Grammy-winning, platinum record selling
Yes.
LaBrewII, right?
now,
Like this. Look, Butters, we in at the
Yes.
beginning, yo. Listen, this is gonna be a dope. This is gonna be a dope clip for
Yes.
the behind the
Yes.
scenes show in the future. We
Yes,
we
I
we, we
can't
setting it
wait.
up.
I can see that. And good to see you, Laverne. And I love what you're doing. I'm a big supporter, and I'm going to start hitting that share button a whole lot more.
Absolutely. Okay, so hold on before you go. All right, family, listen, you know what we do. Click at the top when it shows down at the bottom. Sean Butters Nicole ENT Entertainment.
Thank you.
Go and follow her. There's a lot going on her page. Check it out. See what's going on. So click at the top. When it shows up at the bottom, go follow Butters, okay? Darling, I'm glad you took
Thank
a
you.
chance and came on
we
anyway.
love you,
Next
Butters.
time
You too, LaBrew and
get that
Laverne
pretty
and
smile
Ron in
too.
the background.
All right, just click on the
Okay,
X and that'll
everybody
send
have a
you
good
off.
one.
Love you,
All right.
darling.
Okay.
Oh, that's too funny. Look, LaBrew, that's how we do first thing in the morning. Listen, she over there trying to find the button, like, where's the X?
Oh, okay. That's cool, man. We
Where's
love Butters, man.
Yes. Okay. I have a request from
Oh,
Sketch Factory Studios. Does
so
that ring?
yeah.
Do you know
So
who that
that
is?
is actually an artist as well. He is so Chris Summey. He has and he is a digital artist, and he does amazing graphic artwork. He actually did the lead single cover. So he did the cover
Oh,
in working with us there, collaborations, and he has his production company is called Some Art. It's he does amazing stuff. You should check out. He has this. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Hold on. So real quick, I think we can bring him. So sometimes I'm a little.
Get him,
Normally I'm not
yeah.
hesitant, but
Get him.
we can't. I came on this morning and somebody was in the comments like trying to give me the middle finger and an evil eye, and I'm like, I don't know what that's about, but so that's why I was like, well, who is this? But yeah, sounds like he's
Yeah.
good people. So give me Sketch Sketch Factory Studios, give me a thumbs up in the comment if that's what you meant. You want to pop on live with us, and I'll go ahead and bring you up to chat. Because right now I just went ahead and navigated to the page.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I was getting ready to say
wow.
he's doing this black and white series right now. And it's really good stuff. Like, it's really good stuff. He's also a photographer. I don't know how I missed that one as well.
All right, I'm not trying not to show y'all all the way up my nose as I go to this.
Yeah.
Look at this
Yeah.
page, y'all. Look. All right, give me a thumbs up if you're trying to come on here. I don't see a thumbs up yet, but we're going to show your artwork
That's him
anyway.
there on the right there. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah, and the photography. Look. I don't see the thumbs up, but I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Accept anyway. So if you want to hop on and come live with us, let me flip this back. I just accepted the request, so we'll find out. We'll see.
Everybody, please check his
Let's
stuff
see.
out,
And then
amazing. It's
yeah, that's pretty dope. So it's Sketch Factory Studios. So just like it sounds, SKETCH Factory Studios. Okay, so he may not be in a position to pop on live, but that's okay. Anybody else got questions?
I'll tag it there so that way
LaBrew?
everybody can at least see and make it a little easier.
Okay. All right, let me do that. Thank you. Yeah, because talking, reading the comments,
It's a whole lot
trying to
going
type
on.
and pen. But you should see my surroundings, right? I got yarn over here. I got paper for notes and props, and it's a lot.
I have to get a piece made from you. Like, I love, like, as you can tell, like, I love knit stuff, man. This is one of my favorite sweaters here. I was like, I'm gonna have to get.
I crochet. I don't knit. I crochet.
Sorry.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry. I know it's real specific. Okay.
I have a knitting machine, right? So that's what does the hat. So I could definitely crank you out a hat real quick for sure. That might be the best thing because I still have to see if you crochet worthy yet. We just met today, so we got to develop our relationship a little more. See if I'm gonna sit down and crochet something for hours and hours.
We were in a mall. My girlfriend and I were in a mall, and we saw this lady walking out with this huge, like this. It looked like a blanket in a sense, right? We found out it was a scarf, and I like, man, let's go in here right quick because I thought she bought it out of this store. And I walked in, and come to find out it was someone that worked there. They made it by hand, and she was like a little hurt because she was like, it took me so long to make it. She was like, kind of wanted to keep it for myself, and she started telling me about the process. I looked at her and I was like, the commitment. I'll say that. I was like, to do it is that y'all do is like, it's a major commitment because it's just consistent and that's the only way it's going to get done. Now, but I think she said it took her like, I want to say it was 4 months, I would say, which I don't think that's too off par, I guess you could say, with what y'all do sometimes, depending on the project. Is that? I'm saying.
Okay. Well, so let's see. How long does it take you to, I don't know, let's say write Pulp Fiction and come up with your concept and do your video?
So I guess let's say. So I'm thinking like just like the work time, right? So let's say I'm like when it was like like the amount of time it took to do everything. Ooh, that's rough. It's kind of hard to kind of break it down. It was.
Right. So that's the same. It's the same thing, right? If you think about with crocheting and knitting, right? Because you might have a full-time job, and so you're doing it on the side. You may not, but you can't. Like you got family and girlfriend. You got to hang out and do those things, and so you kind of work it in with life. Or some people do it full time, and if that is their job. So, but it's still not a 24/7 thing, right? So. Yeah, it can take long. It can take time. Sometimes you're tired of it, right? So you might have writer's block, right, on writing some lyrics, we might have like knitters or crochet block. Like, I don't know what to
Okay.
design next, or I'm tired of looking at this
Right.
same
Okay.
daggone color.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, do I keep going with this color, or do I switch it? Do I follow the pattern? Do I go off on my
Right.
own and do
Okay.
what I want to do? Whole thing called
Okay.
sleeve island, right? So when you're knitting or crocheting a sweater and you get to the part where you have to start on the sleeves, mentally there's this thing about creating, like knitting or crocheting the sleeve, that gets people like all twisted up sometimes, because it doesn't sound like it. You would think that the body of the garment is the hardest part, but there's a whole saying about sleeve island. Like, I've reached sleeve island, and you feel like you're just working on that sleeve forever.
I mean,
And it's
it's
crazy,
interesting because I
right?
guess
So
it kind of makes sense to me, because I guess, you know, the main panel of the garment, I guess, is a little different because it's just larger. So I guess maybe you don't see it that way. Brain doesn't think of it like that, but when you get to the
yeah,
sleeve, maybe it's just maybe the shape, nonetheless.
yeah, I think it's deceiving, because I think that you look at a sleeve and you
Right.
think it's a smaller part of the garment, but if you really deconstruct it and open it up, like, it's probably just as much material on the sleeve
Really?
it is on the front panel, if
Okay.
or depending on the style. And so yeah, it's really interesting. So, you know, think about, you might be, you know, like working like, okay, I've got to create an album, right? Do you start off with just creating one song and then the next song comes, or do you start with, I need an album, so I need 8 songs or 10 songs, or this is gonna be a jumbo EP and I need 20 songs, you know, like, so it's, you know, those processes,
Yeah,
those
that's
things
why
are all very similar.
it intrigued me when, you know, because I'm not, you know, in the field in itself. So like, and having a conversation with her just opened up my eyes to a ton of just, you know, just to the amount of time and effort that, you know, that it takes to even get to the place of finishing a garment. And like, for instance, like for myself, in
Yeah,
regards to your question, it was for me, it's like we try to allow everything to kind of come together organically, in a sense, no pun intended, and just allowing it to sort of grow. So like, it's from at least my process, like I just try to set my intention and then have an idea nonetheless, but sometimes I don't want to just kind of, like, dare I say, find myself in a position where I put myself in a box where it's like, it has to be this or it has to be that. Because I think at that point, now,
okay,
of course, unless it's a specific idea that I have conviction on, that's a different story. But next to that, sometimes you just kind of want to, at least for me, I want to allow myself to just take in, um, what is being presented at times, or sometimes you may play a lick that's a little bit different, or you may find from, you know, it's just
right,
like setting the intention, but allowing it to come together and then seeing what you can do with it. I think that's always, I find that to be fun for me. Like, things to just taking
yeah,
in, you know. Um,
I like that. And I like that, you know, like you said, sometimes you may have to be within that box and stay within that theme, but at other times it's like, let's just let it be organic. And I think that sometimes as fiber artists, there can be some folks who get tripped up on, I have to create with a pattern. Like, I got to buy a pattern, follow the instructions, do what it says. I have to use the colors. There are others that can say, okay, well, I want to use the pattern, but I'm gonna switch up the colors. Then there are others who say, all right, I got the pattern, I got the colors, I'm gonna do whatever I want here. And I might even adjust the pattern a little bit because I want to try this or I want to try that. And then there's some folks who don't use a pattern at all. And they're just like, I'm just gonna sit and make it. I'm just gonna do it. You know, they may or may not write a pattern for other people to do that, or it may just be their own thing. So the idea of there being different ways in which you connect with the music, connect with your craft, your creative outlet, is interesting. And it's an interesting part of the process, and it's interesting
Very
to see how
personal
they
too. Like,
parallel,
that's
right?
because I think that's always
Yeah,
interesting as well. Because I think sometimes, you know, being on the outside, you kind of think of things, sort of have like a certain formula in a sense, but then when you get down to it, it's like some people, they attack things very differently, and it's like it's personal to them. Like, what works for you?
Hmm. Okay, so Desi is asking, how do you stay motivated when you
Ooh.
have an off day?
Um,
Mm.
so I'll say something that I've learned was that, how can I put this? That you'll have those times where you'll slide, right? I think that naturally we all will hit, some bump in the road, something that allows you sometimes you have to take a step back. But the way that I'm now viewing life in a sense is that you always, was what I'm calling, like, you have to, that's all right. It's okay to slide. The important thing is to get back on track. So it's like finding your pace in a sense, like getting back on the pace. And
Hmm.
um, the best way that I do it is just to be is honesty for me is first, where it's like I have to be honest with myself, where it's just like, okay, recognize what it is that you're doing now. Um, how to
Hmm.
get back going. It's like really trying to find like a fundamental way of putting it. I can't quite say I have that.
It could, so could one thing one day and one thing another day,
That
just depending
it
on
can
what's
be,
got you
you know what I
stuck.
mean. But I guess I would say mine is definitely is being honest about whatever is present at that time. You know what I mean? If you Because I feel as if you address it, even if it's just with yourself, it doesn't even have to be with somebody. If you can realize, if you recognize what's happening, you address it and then move forward. So I
Hmm.
guess it's like, it's always just, for me, it's always just trying to, I don't want to say correct something, but it's like just trying to find the resolve so that you can move forward. You know what I mean? Because sometimes,
Okay.
like we all have off days, and I think the biggest thing is just making sure that you don't beat yourself up about it. Like, you'll slide and it's fine. It's just making sure you can get hop right back on that road and keep on pushing. You
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I did have a comment, and I think it was from earlier. Sarah was saying maybe it's like writing the liner notes just as important, but a separate, not, maybe not as fun. So like the different aspects, like writing the liner notes for the album versus writing the pattern for the garment. So the different pieces. So yeah, I think so. And then let's see, we got another question. Oh, we got a couple of questions popping in. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Um, who are some of his your musical and or creative
know?
influences?
Um,
Mm.
I try to keep it short because there's a ton of them. Let's see. Outside of everyone that I directly work with, uh,
Mm-hmm.
let's see here. Stevie Wonder is who got me started in music. Next to my family. But as an artist, Stevie Wonder, let's rifle them off. Stevie Wonder, Prince, Sly and the Family Stone. One of my favorite bands is actually New
Yeah.
Birth. Um, let's see here, Mint Condition. Uh, I'm trying. It's so many. Let's go. I'm a huge Muddy Water fan. Artist I love by the name of Little Beaver.
Okay.
Uh, I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of
It's too
um
many. It's so many, right?
also I'm big into like just art in general, like Hebrew Brantley, who's an amazing visual artist out of Chicago. Trying to think, there's a talented guy by the name of Paper Frank out of Atlanta that does really good stuff. Uh, it's so many people. 'Cause like you could just take,
Okay.
it's a lot
Okay.
that oh, somebody said songs in the key of life. But yes, for sure. you know.
Man,
Um
listen.
but
Listen.
yeah, like literally, those are probably, I'll keep it short. Yeah, we'll go there. We'll be talking about this all
All right, let me give you another question. You don't have pressure to go
like
down the whole
it's
list. uh, oh, there was the same question. What are some of your musical or other people of inspiration? So I think you answered that and gave not only musical artists, but visual graphic artists as well. So absolutely. All right, so I've been
I was
peppering you with
I was
questions. Any
gonna say
questions
like
for me?
I'm interested into because like I would call myself someone that is very interested in the world of fashion in a sense, and I think that for what you do as far as like I see everything behind you. So what is that specifically? Is that because I want to make sure I get these terms correct this go around. So this is
Okay,
so is this
okay. Right. So, and this is good because so for like Slicka and all them who are like, that's just Laverne, the little kid that was running around with us. Like, what's she doing now? So I
right?
actually dye the yarn. So let me give you an idea. So I purchased the cotton or tencel. Tencel is a yarn made
Okay,
from wood, actually. Um, they take some wood chunks and pull the fibers out and make a really slick, pretty yarn. But I take undyed yarn. It comes to me dyed up like this. And this is actually a little sneak peek for people who are in one of my yarn clubs. And then I apply the color. So I dye it and I use different techniques to get, a look like this that's got
right.
lights and darks or what have you, or the solids,
And I'm
semi-solids
like.
that you see behind me.
And I know when it comes
So
to color on fabric, it's it varies, and then but to get like really specific tones and that sort of thing is tough. And because like I can tell when I think it's like the third from the right, yeah, like that color, I know getting something like that's yeah, like that right there, that's I already know like that's not a that's not your
yeah, this is 3 different colors,
that
mixed together. So it's like a denim blue and a um dark green, and then I just kind of mix them all together and then just kind of
right.
see where it ends up on the skin. And so like with this one, when you order, this one is called Rain Cloud. No,
Mm.
yes, this one is called Rain Cloud. When you order this, it like
Right.
no one of them is going to be the same. Like even if
No,
I do them at the same time, this game, the
which
next
is
game,
that's
each one's going to be different. That,
right.
that's
Sure.
the beauty of it. But then also trying to make sure I'm consistent can be challenging because like these are my semi-solids, right? And I say semi-solid because it may not be consistently solid. Like you might have some lighter sparks, some darker spots. But trying to make sure that when you come to buy this yellow, which is Meyer lemon yellow, it looks, pretty
Right.
much the same
Right.
each
Right.
time, right? So my, getting a formula and sticking to it, it can be different if the temperature of the water is off by a couple of degrees, or if I put too much salt or not enough salt in there, right? Like who knew you use salt to
Right.
dye,
I'm like it's a
you
whole.
know?
I from that standpoint of it, I'm like I know it's a whole science to get to getting specific colors and that
Yeah,
sort of thing. Because um, that's why I was like I pointed that one out
yeah,
because I was like I know like to even try to do that on a consistent basis like that it's tough.
right,
I know that.
right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Rosie Bailey, that one is Rain Cloud. That would be right in your color. She likes blues and greens and kind of the darker shades. So yeah,
That is
that's
cool. I
Rain
like that
Cloud.
one. 'Cause
Yeah, so that's what I do. Like I
right.
I do the colors, I apply the yarn,
Yeah.
and that's what I sell. These little ones are halves or mini skeins, so it's not a full what we call a
Mhm.
skein or ball of yarn, right? And then these are embroidery threads so that you can do stuff like this, like my Afro woman. All of these are little teeny tiny knots that are eventually going to cover this
That's cool.
completely. There'll be no white space
That is
and it'll
dope.
be afro. So I'll show you one other. So like this, these are
Oh, okay.
all little knots.
That's hot as well.
So it'll be like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and because I know
so
you
that's
had
what I do.
also mentioned because of course like I know about the like the dyed yarns and stuff, but I was you just mentioned something about embroidery thread. And that That's something, and that's
Yeah.
something new that you're also adding to the book.
Yeah, so just like this, you know, the yarn that you use to make a garment, or you can use it for any number of things. You know, this is the embroidery thread is what makes this. And so y'all, I'm gonna give a little spoil. I'm gonna give another spoiler. I've been doing a club, and so I do different colorways, different colors, and sets. And so maybe I won't spoil it
I
for
was gonna
the
say, I
February
hope I'm not putting
folks.
you on the spot.
But they, you know, I know, right? They come in a pack like this, and so it's the threads. It's like sewing thread almost. You know, it's like two sewing threads put together. All right, here I'll show you. So this is one that I'm working on right now. And this is where I like to let my creativity go wild. So like I painted the outside
Mm-hmm.
in different, you know, greens. I had the green fabric, and then I stitched this line down. And I know that sounds like, okay, well, you stitched a straight line. It's hard to
I can
stitch a straight
imagine.
line by hand. But that's what
Right.
I mean. It's just that little tiny needle, the embroidery thread, and you just go
Right.
from front to back, just like it says. Stab
I
it,
was
pull it,
can that
repeat.
is that something that can also be used, say like in say like embroidery machines, that sort of thing? Is that something that can be spooled?
Yes. So mine don't work with the embroidery thread machine. It has to be on a cone so that it can pull
Okay.
it fast and
Okay.
consistently. So for, you
Okay.
know, for working with your hands. Um, but people
Okay.
hand embroider
Good.
on garments, right? So you've probably seen, okay, think about like some of the fashion jeans that women
Right.
have, and you'll see like the flowers and
Right.
embroidered on the jeans. Think about
Right.
patches. People have you know, a patch is machine
Mm-hmm.
embroidered. It's just those threads machine applied, you know, repetitively to come up with that design. But you can do
Right.
that with your
I got
hand. That's what that is. So just you get, you know, a bunch of little lines.
you. Yeah,
This
the
is all
detail.
just with
That's
hand, you know, just
yeah.
little stitches. Yeah, and so yeah, so you can, you know, you can go
Yeah.
out to, remember
Yeah.
Lids in the mall, right? Lids that was over there in the food court. I don't know if it's still there. You know, you could go in there with your jacket and be
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I want you to embroider, you know, LaBrewII on my coat, you know, and you pay them, they put it on the machine and it does that. Or you could go to someone that is proficient at doing it by hand and say, this is the design, and they'll
By
work it
hand.
up
Oh
and
man, because like
do it
you
by
know, I
hand.
didn't. Once again, like I'm learning. That's what I'm doing right now. Because I'm like I know of course like the machines like my grandmother so like those sort of things I'm familiar with, but doing certain things by hand I never even
Right.
I it's something I never even thought about. But
Yeah.
like I said, just the detail in which the way that that's coming out, that's dope. I'm like this, I'm just all in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, for a lot of us, knitting, crocheting, embroidering, there's
Mhm.
something else called needle felting. A lot of those fiber arts, um, many of us, you know, were taught them like I was taught by, you
Right.
know, me and Ron's grandma, um, you know, or we found it somehow. Some people find it early in life, later in life. But for a lot of us,
Yeah.
it can be a stress reliever. It can be calming. You will hear some people say
Mm.
that crochet saved their life because it gave them a way to channel pain, drama, hurt, anxiety, you know, all of those things, to sit down and engage your hands into a craft and
Yeah.
creating something to let your mind rest or relax or allow you to process. And I don't know what it's called. I'm sure somebody in the comments can tell me. But there's a term for when you engage your hands so that your mind can kind of clear out
Mm.
a little bit, if that makes sense. So just like music
That,
can be therapy, right? I mean, you know, you can be feeling a certain kind of way, and you either can put on music to pull you further into that feeling, or you can put on music
Very
to
true.
pull you out of
Definitely.
that feeling,
Definitely.
right? Because, you know, I will, you know, sometimes you get up and you might wake up in the morning and you get up on that wrong side of the bed, but you got to function because the kids need you. You got to go to school or you got to go to work. And then that's when you throw on that Pulp Fiction and be like,
Wake you up a little bit. Exactly. Yeah.
right?
Exactly. That's what. Yeah. Like that's what I'm sitting.
Right.
No.
You
Yeah.
saw that little shout out I did, right? Right.
It sounded good
Sorry,
too.
I'm corny. I can't. Okay. You're so kind because I know.
Oh man, but I was like I said, I'm sitting up here just kind of. This is very, you know, it's very interesting nonetheless. It's like just seeing, because of course, like all of it, dare I say it, similar fabrics in a sense. You know what I mean? And it's like just hearing the way that it's put, because, you know, I don't like I did see someone said something about everything was done by hand, you know, before the machines, and I'm like, when you put it like that, it's like, of course, like, but you know, it's like I don't think, you know, I was like, dog, I was like, you know what, you're right. I'm like, everything was done by hand, and it's like, but well,
Okay, the same with music.
let's not talk about that, because that'll be a whole, everything ain't done by hand anymore, which is very interesting nonetheless. And it's just, but it adds to the
So
craftsmanship. Like when you're doing it by hand, and it's like it takes that takes a certain skill set nonetheless, just to be able to do it, just to be able to do that. Like that's and like even like the way that you just stated, basically literally it's like putting your DNA, because technically you're touching it 24/7. And then even just to be one in a sense with, you know, as you're working, that's interesting stuff, because it's interesting to say that, because I'm like, that's sort of the way I try to approach, you know, even what we do, and I just never even saw.
Okay, so give you some parallels, right? So think about it. You know, the inception of music, right? Somebody at some point touched something, you know, touched and made a sound. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Somebody in over a hollow
exactly.
board and made a drum.
Yep.
Right. So music was all
The
by
same
hand
way,
and by
yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
same way, right? Now, fast forward, you've got electronic music, you've got dubstep, you've got all of that, right? Now that doesn't make it any lesser. It's just different, because I dare anybody to say Roger and Zach, I wanna be your man, right? I know that was terrible, but you know what I'm saying. He had the little, you know, the little thing in his mouth when he's singing, and it's electrifying his voice.
Yeah, yeah,
Still a
and that's why I said
classic.
it's the different, it's different means of getting there, and it's just but the levels to it. It's very interesting, because each one takes a certain amount of craftsmanship. You know what I mean? And that's amazing to see. Like I said, just the parallels in a sense. You know what I mean? That's cool. That is interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah. A lot of things are interconnected in the world, right? Not to get all philosophical and mystical and whatnot, but it's just true, you know. And a lot of and just like with things, so are people, right? And so, you know, we connect in different ways. You know, I think you and I have a good connection now through music and yarn. Like, who would have thought? Like, let's be honest, when Ron was like, you should go on her show and talk, did you have some reservations?
I won't say it was reservations. It was more so I was just kind of like, it's kind of it's two worlds, but it's just two worlds that have now blended, because now they all make sense. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was like that's I don't know anything about that. Yeah, it's like you know, something completely different. Yeah.
Why would I? So you stepped out and tried something different. Me
I did.
too, right? Because I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I mean, I know we're gonna talk about his album and all of that stuff, right? But that's part of what we do over here, is just like talk, and we see where we connect, and it's organic, right? Because I think I sent you one or two, like, okay, this is kind of how we talk and we're gonna relate, but you know what I was gonna ask you. I didn't know what you were gonna ask me
We
either.
jumped in the deep end. That's what we did.
We did. We dove right in. And you know what? The water was warm and good, and I think I enjoyed this
Most
time,
definitely.
and
I
I hope
definitely
you
did.
did too.
I appreciate, even the
All right.
conversation nonetheless. Just
Yeah. Okay. So this is the little part where we're gonna start to close out in a few minutes. I think I told you an hour, but we a whole hour and 37 minutes into this thing, so
you
the
already
time
know.
goes by
That's how you know
quickly.
the conversation good when you look back up in time.
All right, so we're gonna close out. We always kind of close out by bringing people on. So again, Sketch Factory Studios. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and send. I accepted the request. If he wants to come on, great. I had someone else, Tessie Mack, send a request to join. Give me a thumbs up, Tessie Mack, if that's what you meant to do and you want to pop on live real quick. And so listen, if you guys are ready, y'all know you got to be ready. If you want to come on and ask LaBrew a question, share your love of music, make a comment, you want to pop on live. Okay, listen, we can add 2 more people to this thing. So are y'all ready? Who wants to come on and hang out with us for a minute before we get off the line? Yep, time flies when you're having fun. Absolutely. Tagmeyer saying there's always common ground. Okay, NY Sunshine. Oh, new account. Okay, hey, very enjoyable discussion. Well, thank you. Wonderful. All right, listen, y'all. Come on, Saturday Morning Shenanigans crew. Look, so you're officially a part of the SMS crew now, right? The Saturday Morning Shenanigans crew. I think everybody is still a little sleepy. I don't have any invites.
It's cold everywhere right now. So like I think so it's supposed to be in the teens later in the evening. Yeah, so
yeah, it snowed down here,
earlier.
so it's cold because
you're in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, because
I'm like, that's rare.
That's the first actual snow that stuck for a hot second that we've seen since we've been down here the last 3 years. So it was like, okay, interesting. Oh, okay, we got to take her. Ashley's gonna join us. Miss hanging on by a string. She's on with us real quick. Wait, so are we at your house, LaBrew? Is this?
Yeah, this is my place, and this is just part of the art that I collect because I try. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this here's an artist from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah, her name is Ideal Iris. She's really cool. That's hand painted, all one stroke. And you got my favorite. Here's a Stevie Wonder, famous Stevie Wonder photo from a festival there. Got to get Stevie on the wall. Yeah, just a couple guitars here, and everything else you can't quite see. This one over here though, this was handmade by I got this when I was overseas. This was it was a street artist that did this by spray paint, and he was spray painting and scraping, which is really cool. Yeah, and then it's a ton of other stuff laying around, but this was on the wall at least.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What's up, Miss Ashley?
Hey,
Ashley, LaBrewII.
You guys got the spinning circles on your face, so it's kind of frozen for me.
Can you hear us? I mean, we can.
Laverne, your eyes are closed. I can hear you.
Okay. What's going on this morning?
Much. It's 5 degrees and snowing out here. My window's frozen shut, but life.
Yeah.
Nothing much.
5 degrees.
Oh my goodness.
Where you at? Where do you?
I am in the upper north east quadrant of the country where we're getting hit with some snow.
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh. Now Ashley is dope because he has been playing with lots of interesting and unique fibers, and I actually have a question for you because so you post the kind of fiber you're working with, and I'm like, wait, do you literally mean milk fiber, or do you made from milk? And then you said steel wool fiber, so I'm like, wait, is that the color, or is it actually steel wool yarn? And so I went and Googled because I'm like, Ashley be finding the crazy
if it's weird,
yarns. Tell us about this steel wool yarn.
It is actually steel wool. It has a coarse, it's very straight, but it has kind of like a coarse texture. It actually does come out soft, but it's kind of, to me, it feels a bit scratchy. And it's just very, very, very thin strands of metal that is kind of mashed or melted. I'm not sure how the process is, but I'm gonna look it up to make it thin and fiber-like. So when you spin it, it actually comes out like a thread. I did a little bit more research to see if this is like something that is done on a larger scale, and it is. It's called Kinetic Threads. It is kind of expensive, but it's used for certain electronics. I also did a little bit of research. If you put it into clothing, you can put it into like those gloves that can operate a touch screen without taking them off, because the metal is not insulation. It conducts heat. So you should be able to use, theoretically, you should be able to use like your touchscreen devices with the gloves on at the very tips of the fingers.
Yo, that's what I saw when I was Googling, and I was like, this is so dope. Like, I never knew. So like, you can go to the store and it'll say, knitted gloves that you can still work your phone with it. I didn't know how that worked or why that worked. But when I saw Ashley using steel wool, I'm like, you mean like a Brillo pad?
It.
I know when you said it, that's where my mind went as well.
And that's what it is. But it's just
softer. It's like just a softer version. That's it.
Yeah. The strangest thing I saw,
somehow they pull it, manipulate it in some way to make it soft, but it'll conduct that heat.
I love the steel color, like the gray.
That's
you like the color? Yeah, I know. I was like, that's so dope. So like, you could. Are you going to be selling it?
I did I played with some resin yesterday, and I took a couple of pieces and just kind of sprinkled it into the molds to see if I can make it into a pendant. The mold is dry, so I will be putting a post up later if it comes out completely. If it's a flop, then y'all not going to see it for a while. But I will try to put it up to see how it came out.
I love it. No, listen. So that's another way of like mixing mediums, right? So like, this is resin with yarn in it, right? So say, that's so dope. Man, listen, y'all amaze me. Y'all amaze me.
I do have that pearl infused fiber that I was telling you about before too. So I'm spin that up. I actually just finished dyeing it, so it's drying.
Wait, you said pearl? You said a pearl infused?
Yeah, pearl.
like why? What in the world? So it's like actual. So like the stone itself is within the. Yeah,
because pearl is another type of protein that's produced from some kind of shellfish. I don't know the specific name of it.
Right. Yeah.
She froze. See, this is when it gets. Listen, when we're about to get good stuff, it's like, no, we're not going to let you hear all of the fabulousness. She's got to get to a spot with a consistent signal. She's going to come back. No, she's going to come back. Or she might out.
I was curious. But saying like that's interesting to me because like, I mean, I'm into stones and stuff as well. Like, I mean, we can see it here. But it's interesting to see like how like that can also be worked into fabric. That's
so I think what she's explaining, and if she can come back on, we'll get her on and she can correct me. But it's a pearl is when a piece of sand gets trapped inside of an oyster, and over years, the protein from the juices of the body of the oyster, right, wrap around the pearl and the grain of sand and harden, and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up. So it's that protein somehow is extracted from the pearl or what have you, and turned into a fiber. Now how, I don't know. Listen, she finds the most obscure, and this is the one that I can't wait to hear about, is milk fiber, yarn and fiber. I don't know how she does it, how they found it, but I wait to hear more research. I'm gonna get her back in. But in the meantime, we have Nosy Baylay there. Hello, lady.
It's
Okay,
a little
Ashley's back
spotty
too.
still.
There we go.
I got the spinning swirl. Okay.
Okay, look. So hold your hand like this and stand real still. No, I'm kidding. Did I do a good job in explaining
Yes.
the pearl
So
fiber?
it was kind of coming in and out. So because I have it up on my laptop and I have it up on my cell phone, so I'm trying to listen and catch up. I'm still getting some swirls though. But from what, let me explain before it kicks me off real quick. They take the pearl, they crush it, they infuse it with another cellulose or plant fiber. This one was infused with rose. I'm not sure which part of the rose plant they use. They take a solution, like with the viscose or the lyocell process, and the pearl dust will fuse to the plant fiber itself, because I've also seen like pearl and mint fiber fused fibers. And then during the hardening process, it'll be pushed through like a spinneret to come out with these long threads, and it's cut to the desired length, and then you get the fiber. That's, if I'm wrong, somebody please tell me, but that's what I found thus far.
The bird's like, wait, what?
I mean, it's just it's so much more to fabrics than you know imagine. Like
That's amazing. I'm learning something.
I nearly said science.
Yeah. Okay. So we Nosy Baylay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I nearly failed science and biology, but I found a new interest in it now.
Yeah.
Girl, yeah.
It has its use.
First time I ever got it. Yeah. Okay, so we got Nosy Baylay. She popped in. Hey, darling.
I just wanted to come on and thank you, BzyPeach. Oh my goodness. I got my yarn yesterday. It was some happy mail, okay?
Yeah. Awesome. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Okay, go ahead.
But I have a question too.
This is an old hat that I made years ago. This is entrelac crochet, Tunisian entrelac. And I just wanted to show Mr. LaBrewII that I can actually make some hats, okay?
I see it. I'm sitting up here looking now. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, I don't know how you guys
Tunisian
do it.
entrelac. Yay!
That is cool.
Tunisian entrelac. Oh, God.
Wait,
oh, you got your pattern. Hey. And look.
So they wrote the pattern to create this hat. So I'm going to be making one for me and probably one for Ron as well. But I have a question though, because Ron for Organics was asking me about a hat like you have on now, Nosy Baylay, because it's kind of like that Stevie Wonder hat, you know, where he had, and he legit, this was asking me to make him a hat like that. Do you have a pattern?
You know what? This is my own design. It's not written, but I can make another one.
Oh, so we may have to collab. If I send you some yarn, the yarn colors that he wants, would you and we can collab, and I'll pay you for your time and that, of course. Get him one of those made up.
Now I have to say, this is made with a this is wool, but it's made with a yarn with a long color run. So that's how you get these blocks of colors. So you see how like each little triangle and diamond is almost a different color. You can see that, right? It's because of the yarn. So if you have a yarn, I don't know if you do, this might be a project for you to make a yarn that has a long color run, because otherwise it would all be different. Like I would make each block a different color. And that's possible also. Like these are called tiers.
Is it possible to do it?
So
solid?
it can, it's just that the texture doesn't, it can. I don't want to say it can't. But I will say this, it could be multiple colors. So you could do like one tier, these are called tiers. This could be one color. Then the next tier could be another color. Then the next tier could be another color. So that way, you know, it could be 3 or 4 different colors. That's another way to do it.
Can you turn to the side so we can see more of the? Yeah, look at that, y'all.
Listen, if I had.
So this is one that
Yes.
I just was playing around with the entrelac, and I was like, I can turn that square into a circle. And that's what I did. So it starts off as a square. You can't see it at the top, but then it rounds out, and you can make it. And you see it's pretty slouchy. So if I wanted to put all of these locks up in there, I could, but I could also make it less slouchy. And I just wanted to give a shout out to my daughter because she was the one that inspired me to get to do locks. And she had the most beautiful locks. Oh my God. But so anyway, I made her one. And she could, because she had a lot of locks, so she could pull all her locks up in there. And she modeled it for me. She has the hat and a matching scarf to go with it. And it is amazing. I'm just saying it's amazing. So yeah.
Hey, listen, toot your own horn. Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. But thank you for coming on and sharing. So I saw in the comments you were like,
I sure can.
Make him a hat. So LaBrew, you time. So y'all look up in the DMs and she can get gotta pay for it. Listen,
look, you can get the family discount because I want you to just wear it on one of those videos, okay?
That would be cool, yeah. Like, I respect all talents, man. I'm like, artists don't get paid what they deserve, so I'm like,
that's a whole
right.
thing.
That's a whole nother show.
Both
absolutely. That would be amazing, though.
So that might have to be part. Yeah, that'll be part 2 when you come back with the new album. So we'll have to have you come back. You have a new album, and we'll talk about the money side of things.
Yeah, and I want to see you wearing one of my hats, and I can make cotton. Now, this one is wool, but I can work with the cotton too. So whatever you need, okay, I can do it.
Nosy Baby
I
said,
sure.
I need this.
And I'm serious. Because I really do like hat making. My mother was the one that inspired me to make hats. She always made these caps. And so really, this is really my thing right here, making caps. But I can make any kind of hat. Yeah. And I just really appreciate her for teaching me. I think you said that earlier. Your grandmother taught you how to crochet, Laverne. So I shout out to all the nanas and grandmas that passed those skills on to us. And yeah, hats are my thing. So I'll put a project down and make a hat. Okay.
That's all right. I talk about.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing, and hopefully you guys can connect and work that out. And LaBrew, I'm super excited. I know it's probably like I ain't heard from her, but we supposed to be talking, and we don't know what we're gonna be talking about. But I agree. I agree.
I'm like,
absolutely. This was a great. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
I was saying this was a great show. Stitching, making, crochet, knitting, whatever. You got to have some music in the background and then you can just zone out. You know what I'm saying? So this was a good conversation. So I appreciate it. I learned so much and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I'm glad.
But LaBrewII, so send us out, like give us all the details, where we can find your music, where we can find your stuff, so we can listen over and over and over.
Everything will be under LaBrewII. So that's LaBrewII, like the Roman numeral 2.
Okay.
So that it'll be that across the board. So whether the website is www.LaBrewII.com. Everything on social will be LaBrewII. Please, you know what I mean? By all means, please reach out. You know what I mean? we're in the midst of just trying to expand everything at the moment, just looking to find other creative folks that might, if it comes down to it, if it's something that makes sense for everyone, because we love for everybody to be doing what they, is to do. And if it works, it works. You know what I mean? And please, by all means, be looking for new material coming out within the next year, more visuals, that being video and photos.
Yeah.
Also starting up the merch store will be going live very soon, so you can get, so you will be able to purchase hats.
Cool.
We have some other graphic work that will also be made onto garments as well. So it's a few things that's kind of moving in a way that's being prepared at the moment. And once it go live, I would definitely let everyone know. And as well, it's we have a great logo. Do you have your hat? I'll share. Well, it's posted on everything. So the logo is so the solo logo. It's an insignia that is shown, and then we'll also have like just various prints of. The goal is to basically create. So once again, in NuSense, it's a play on the senses, right? It's trying to find a way of attaching some actual material to each sense. So you have the music, which will play with your sense of hearing. We're looking to possibly get a candle made to attach to this.
Oh yeah.
So with the
Cool.
the sense of sight, and then also I'm thinking about a coffee mug, something like that, to go with the taste, that sort of, you know what I mean? And/or if I could find, some other form that we can also mess with that. But then sense of touch, of course, will be the garments as well. So it's just a play on all of the senses. So you'll see a little bit attributed to each sense, as well as each record as well. So
Okay, so quick question. I had an idea. Sorry, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but we are getting close to 12. But real quick, the logo, is that the kind of infinity blue? Yeah, we could crochet that into a hat. Like we could you could have a crocheted hat with that symbol.
Absolutely.
So freaking
Or
dope.
even embroider it on there, Laverne. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk. All right, it's 12 o'clock. We went straight 2 hours. Usually we try to cut off a little bit before noon, but we went a straight 2 hours because it was getting good. But LaBrew, this was dope. I can't wait to actually see you in person, right? But I love that we met online and we had this conversation. And thank you for your time and sharing all your wisdom and your music. So everybody go. Listen, download it. You can find the video on YouTube. That's going to be on the Saturday Shenanigans playlist. Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. I'll put it on the Peaches playlist on Apple Music if you're listening to my playlist. YouTube, make sure you get it there. Buy it from Apple Music, right? You need to buy it because we got to pay for these things and support each other. On SoundCloud, where else? The website, everywhere. Find it all.
Wherever you digest your music from is there.
All right. Yes. All right.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a fabulous Saturday, and we'll catch
Bye.
up with y'all next week.
See you later.